Russian figure skater Aliona Kostornaia spoke about why in the spring of 2020 she left coach Eteri Tutberidze. In August 2020, you left Tutberidze. How did she tell her? I spoke to her twice. Once I was turned away from the checkpoint in Novogorsk, saying that I did not have a pass. I was then 16 years old. Everyone thought that I would change my mind, but no. Our apartment was being renovated, my mother and I lived in the same room, but then she left. I called Eteri Georgievna and said that I wanted to work differently. 5 minutes later, a post appeared on my social networks. Mom called and asked, "What is this?" I replied that I had. It became easier. Then there was a claim that you make great demands, refuse to train with other athletes. We had a group. And they added small athletes to us, but they interfere. Each has its own corridor. But due to the fact that small athletes violated it with their falls, the entire flow was disrupted. We don't have 3 people on the ice to let everyone through. And while you're driving in circles, you freeze. You forget the skill, you become lethargic. And they yell at you to ride. Were you alone in this situation? No one else skated with the younger ones. I'm not used to this. I didn't like the fact that we had not 6 people on the ice, but 12. This is traumatic. No one listened to me, so I left for other conditions. How did the transition to Yevgeny Plushenko take place? I went there for Coach Rozanov. I got a triple axel, we had a connection with him. He coached me, supported me, nothing sky high. I switched to him because I learned with him the element that took me to the top. Thought I had to do it again. There was progress, but then there were injuries that got worse. After returning to Tutberidze, many experts wrote that you lost your jumps, lost your shape due to improper preparation. I had a lot of injuries. And the older you get, the more difficult they are to bear. They created all the conditions there. They gave both doctors and exercise therapy. They did everything for me. Everything would be fine if not for my old injuries. Why didn't you stay there then? Because I thought that it was unrealistic to get together in a year. Maybe Tutberidze would have done it. But, as practice has shown, here the questions were primarily for me, and not for the coaches. Plushenko, Tutberidze, Bayanova. Describe each of them in 3 words. Plushenko, charisma, energy, willpower. Tutberidze, grace, rigor, obtaining results by any possible means. Bayanova, honesty, support, the ability to direct in the right direction. When you returned, there was no feeling of shame? I was a little offended when they interviewed me in Tutberidze on Channel 1. The questions themselves forced me to say that I was wrong. It was in that interview that Eteri Georgievna said that her daughter Diana persuaded her to take you back. Yes. We often talked with Diana. Not now, because they have a different time zone, a lot of training. At one point they were constantly in touch. Diana believed in me at some point. Thank you very much for talking to my mom. The conditions were, triple axel and stop responding to the coaches. I had to get over my pride. When I realized that I couldn't get into the squad, I decided to disperse. And the hand made it possible. The second time Tutberidze herself told you. Yes, she called me. She said that we couldn't and wouldn't succeed. They did not want to adapt to me, and I did not want to adapt to them. What did you feel then? When my arm hurt, I told my mother that I would quickly leave there. I always had to have a backup plan. I wanted to go to Bayanova. Mom asked why not to Mishin. But Mishin has Lisa, this is St. Petersburg, she didn't want to go there. I couldn't train there. The first transition to Samba 70 to Tutberidze, did your mother insist? I came to them for a warm-up, I saw that they were jumping and laughing. But it was during the competition, I didn't know what was happening in training. You can laugh between the girls in training. In training with Tutberidze, it's hard physically and mentally. Those resources that you spend on achieving the goal are not worth it. You had experience with Tatyana Tarasova. They say she is the opposite of Eteri Tutberidze. Tatyana Anatolievna treats me strictly, but it is always on business. She is very demanding. Therefore, I don't know who even said that she is the opposite of Tutberidze. And what then? She adapts more to her athletes, tries to make them comfortable. It creates comfortable conditions, but no one will lisp with you. You said that your friend Shcherbakova was silent in training and never answered the coaches. But how did it happen that you are the same in temperament, but you answered, but she did not? She just kept everything in herself, but I didn't. Anya is very intelligent, she sometimes cannot afford it. At the same time, you were told that you were discouraging the group, but you did not manage to let Sherbakov go down a crooked path. Well, yes, and I didn't spoil the rest either, neither Sasha, nor Camilla. In general, no one. Is there any amazing story in your friendship? Maybe shared skates or food? We often share food. This is fine. How did Anya react to your transitions between groups? She was upset, but we continued to keep in touch. Sometimes we hang out together. Have you ever thought about switching to pair skating? Yes, I'm small in stature, small in weight. I would make a good boyfriend. If you would switch, would it be in sports or dancing couples? In sports, it's cool. The problem is that I will go there at almost any age, but not back. You said that you want to work as a journalist, TV presenter, but what about your dream of neurosurgery? It will not be possible to combine sports and neurosurgery. And besides, the priorities for plastic surgery have now changed. Why did you dream of becoming a doctor? Because you liked chemistry and biology at school. As a child, I watched the TV series Grey's Anatomy, House MD. I liked them. Now I'm watching Sklifosovsky. All in the same way, but still interesting. But being a doctor takes a very long time to study. As soon as I finish my sports career, I will go to medical school. But if you, like Tuktamisheva, will skate until you are 26, what about your studies? And doctors under 30 are generally not allowed to the operating table. Even if I'm very mature, I can still go to school, said Kostornaia.